Hello, friends. It's Kathy from Spectral Web Services. I am showing off today Haunts, which is our calendar offering. I built it originally because folks using Ghost wanted a calendar, but in fact, it is totally cross-platform. I've got folks using it on Beehive, on Zenforo. It'll work on WordPress. Basically, anywhere that you can drop an embed and run some JavaScript, you can probably run Haunts. So you have a lot of options. You can see Haunts at gethaunts.com. I'll also put it in the video description. Come check it out. So here we are looking on my demo site. Forgive my demo site. It's not pretty, but we are looking at a calendar I'm working on for Evanston, Illinois. And so you can see here that we're starting to get some pretty nice fill in. This is just native Haunts. And Haunts actually does a pretty nice job of using the space you give it. If the space gets bigger or smaller, no problem, it'll resize. And it doesn't do the obnoxious scroll within scroll. It'll just take as much space as it needs. And if I've done a good job, it'll need a lot of space. All right. One of the features I wanted to show you here is that we have a bunch of layouts. When you actually launch your calendar, you'll probably pick just a couple or maybe just one of these, but different kinds of content look better with different layouts. So several different options for sort of images, no images. Do you want this sort of gridded structure or do you want a much more sort of linear? We've also got the what should we do today view that you can tab through and see individual one day at a time. So lots of options. Again, my recommendation for launching would probably be to pick 1 to 3 of these that you think suit your content and your visitors best. I just have them all turned on right now so you can see it. We also optionally have a submit event button here that would take people to your event submission page, tell them how to do it, and then there's a little Haunt submission embed that'll put it into your queue for later approval. Um, Also hiding up here in this top bar, we've got some filtering available. So if you only want to see some kinds of events, you can change those. And categories here are configurable by you. You say what categories things should go into. And because some events are ongoing and in a lot of views end up at the top forever, I don't think I've got any really on this feed, but you have the option to include or don't include. Let's see if we can get a few to pop up. There are none in this feed. But if you've got like a 3-month long art show that's already started and you don't want to sit at the top of the feed for 3 months, you can untoggle it. And all those settings will persist for your viewers. So their preferences are taken into account there. All right. And so we'll just sort of scroll through here, take a look at what we have. And then let's click into one. And that'll take us to the original source so we can go over to the library and get all the details. We can also, um, for many of these, there'll be a see more, and we can get a little pop-up that gives us some details there. Haunts events sync nightly for anything that has been automatically ingested. So if something changes over at the library, Haunts will catch up certainly within 24 hours. Okay. All right. That was part one. Part two, let's take a look at how we actually set the calendar up. So here we are in Haunts, and let's go back to our front page. So here we are in Haunts setting things up, and I highly recommend, I've already started here. You can see there's lots of work going on, but I highly recommend that you try the wizard. It doesn't always work, but when it does, it's magical. So let's say that we were building something for Evanston and we wanted to ingest our City of Evanston official events. I always recommend if there's a calendar page that you find it. Okay, it's helpful to the wizard if you give it the calendar page instead of making it hunt for it. And it's also helpful because then you can see what kinds of events are being served. If you don't see any events you want, move on. If you're like, oh, this looks great, I'd love to have those events, then good. Grab that URL and drop it over into the Haunts wizard and tell it to look. And what this will do is that was really quick. It will examine that feed and look and try and identify what that feed might be and whether it can automatically pull events. And so it's showing us here some events. The wizard just grabs the first handful of events. In this case, clearly these are not the soonest events. I'm not sure what order they're coming out of the wizard in, but very promising. It looks like we are getting events. We're getting locations, titles, dates, all that. Times don't look screwball, so you would just click use this hot, and or you can click times look wrong. If you say times look wrong, you can sort of flag that something's up with time zones. Some events lie about whether they're giving you UTC or wall clock time, so you've got some options there. But once you like it, you click use your haunt and then use this haunt, and events should show up in a couple of minutes. Okay. If nothing has worked, you can instead click submit for review, which basically takes that URL and puts it on my to-do list. Okay. So that's what it looks like. Let's just try another one. I worked pretty hard on this, so we got to admire it. Here we are. We're looking at a local pub that puts on some events. Again, find the calendar link. This one is actually just a Google Calendar, but let's just show that we can, excuse me, wrong tab, that we can find our calendar. So again, we're examining this page that contains a Google Calendar. And oh, it found two Google Calendars. It actually found, if you look at it here, one for Skokie and one for Evanston. I don't know why it likes this one over that one, but we would just go ahead and click use this haunt for the one we want, and boom, there come all the events. Same story. Okay. We'll do one more just for fun. Let's take a look at the public library. Once again, click the events button if you find one, because getting on the right screen improves the chances of the wizard working. Once you've got the URL, go ahead and drop that in. Looks like we've got some analytics code tagging along, but it shouldn't matter. There we are. This is a BiblioCommons library, and here are the sources we can pull. That's how it works. Once you've set that up, it will automatically continue to ingest events once a day. So we'll continually pull new events from all your sources. So there is a little bit of setup time. And if you're planning on signing on for a year, or hey, I'm in beta, if you promise to give me really good feedback and to use what I've built, I might do it for you anyway. I kind of like building calendars. But I'm happy to offer you some help with getting your calendar up. I'll take some of that work from you. It's educational for me. I find out things that the calendar doesn't do that it should do sometimes that way. So feel free to try the wizard. Feel free to drop me some requests, or feel free to request concierge service if you're going to commit to a year on a paid plan. Okay. And let's just, I think we will, let's look at one more thing. A couple other things you can manage here. We also have here a custom events option. Our custom events option lets you set up if there's a recurring series that you just don't have a feed for, you can build it here. You can also hit this import with AI button and take your unformatted mess of text that somebody sent you in email and hey, would you please announce this? And just drop it in there and it will create for you the event. And so then you can see here we get a variety of events as a result of doing that. So that's what we have. Please check it out. If you have any questions or feedback for me, it's always great to hear from you. Thank you.